Hey, how's it going? It's Ken, and another video. As some of you may know, I've been trying to do a video every day, and I do a video about every third day, which isn't bad. It's not bad. It's more videos than most people do. It's more videos than I've been doing for the past several years, because I felt like I need to do more videos. Anyway, it's June, and so I'm going to take a break. I'm talking about politics, hopefully. I know I always say that, and I always end up back into politics, but I'm going to try to not talk about politics for the whole month of June, and instead I'm going to talk about relationships, because June, as you may know, is Pride Month, at least here in Los Angeles. I'm not sure about everywhere else, but it certainly is Pride here in LA. We got the big Pride festivals coming up in Pride Week, and it's part of Pride Month, and I guess Pride Year and Pride Decade, and Pride Score and Pride Century. But in the Pride Millennium. So anyway, I'm going to talk about relationships here in the next several videos, and there's lots of things to talk about when it comes to relationships, because relationships are a big thing that involve a great portion of our life and are very complicated, and all of our relationships with different people are different, and the reasons why our relationships are one way or another. They're like sawing over there. I'm gonna go this way. All of our relationships are different because we're, different people interact differently with each other, and so on and so forth. I'm mostly going to be talking about my own perspective in life, more so than any kind of scientific theory, although you know me, I'll get into a little bit of that. But yes, I'm mostly just going to be talking about myself, because that's what pride is about. It's about being proud of yourself and self-expression. Okay, what is normally a quiet neighborhood is extremely loud and busy and populated today. But I'm getting better at this in-camera editing thing. Weed whackers. Somebody was sawing tile a moment ago. But anyway, yes, talking about myself and relationships, and so most of the time during Pride Week or whatever is spent celebrating sexuality. And while eventually we'll get to a video on that, I wanted to start off with talking about love first, before getting into the boneyard. I thought, let's talk about the heart instead, because this is a great matter for debate. Does love exist? Long answer, maybe. Short answer, yes. So I was always a person who had a desire for love. My household growing up, for the most part, well, it wasn't loveless, to say the least. The focus, especially conversationally, was more concerned with matters of well, mostly financial. I would say it was the number one talk about the house, about this thing costing that much, and chores, responsibilities, loyalties. Family was seen as mainly as a financial unit, and that the purpose of family being together is to share costs and responsibilities, and to work together in order to create wealth for the family. And that's a little cold, in my opinion. Growing up now, being an adult, looking back on it, that seemed totally normal when I was young, but now as an adult it seems rather callous, and almost kind of unemotional. That's not to say there weren't emotions, not to say that relationships that tension didn't exist, that there weren't moments of expressions of love and kindness towards each other, and caring, as well as moments of clashing over individualities, and what comes first, individual needs or family needs and that sort of thing. It wasn't emotionless. It just wasn't the focus of the family as a unit. And of course, so my real understandings of love, because while my parents still do love each other, and enjoy being with each other, and they did express love towards each other, that wasn't my main influence in regards to what is love, question mark. Most of that came from stories, from books, from television, these kind of ideas of romance. My parents, they did go on dates and buy flowers and chocolates and jewelry and that sort of stuff, but for the most part, like I said, when they were together, the talk was of money, almost constantly. So I wasn't really getting the sense of that from them. And then, I'd watch movies on television, or read a book, and it would talk about these kind of romances, these idea of people meeting and they fall in love, and and then they have to overwork their issues so that they can be together, and all this stuff, this dramatic love, as I like to call it. And then so then when I was growing up, getting older, while I certainly was a very sexual being, as soon as I hit puberty, man, whew, yeah. But that aside from the carnality, there was definitely that desire for the emotional connection with other human beings, particularly the idea, the concept of there being a one person who is your soulmate, your one true love, that you meet them and then all the pieces of your life seem to fall into place. regardless of whether it's a perfect relationship or not, because love isn't necessarily a matter of compatibility, and we'll get to that in a second. So anyway, during the high school, first college, early 20s, mid-teens, early 20s, I thought I was experiencing love with people, and while I certainly did care about people, I did care about my romantic partner's interests. I was definitely unaware of it, but I was sort of role playing this concept of love. Sometimes they call it puppy love, and I think that's important. That's an important part of the process as we grow up as human beings. And yes, some people do get lucky and just get the person that they dated for several years in high school just happens to be the love of their life, and then they can just go on from there forever. Lucky them, you bastards. I hate you, but good for you. That's not me. That didn't happen. And while I certainly, care for the people who I was romantically involved with, and I wish them all the best in life. In hindsight, not real love, not real true love, if you will. It was more, I don't know, I had a thing, that I think I was trying to force it too much, too, as part of it. I was looking too hard for it, and it seemed, I think I was thinking it was something that I could just, if I put effort into it, like a work of art, it would eventually create itself. But it doesn't work like that. And then I did experience true love. I really do think so. When I was in my mid-20s, this woman, her name was Agnieszka, and I knew her in high school, and then we met up later on in life, and I to this day care for her greatly, but we weren't compatible. We were incompatible. What her goals were in life, what she wanted to do, what she wanted to accomplish, her lifestyle was incompatible with mine. She was very much into the stability, routine, kind of, she wanted to have the things she expected to happen every day, and nothing else. And while she did do fun things, she did go to parties and on adventures, in quotation marks. They were very fabricated adventures, like Burning Man kind of stuff. That's as fun and as exciting as Burning Man is. It's a theme park, all right? It's not a real adventure, all right? And what I was doing is I was going on real adventures and real life, caution to the wind, three sheets, sails open kind of adventures. And she could not hang, she could not handle. And I think, although we kind of drifted apart over it, so I guess it was mutual, but definitely she was the one to slam the door in the end, and I think she was, not actually slam the door, but metaphorically slam the door, and I think she was right for doing it. And but I loved her. I asked her to marry me, and she kind of went, not really yes, not really no, but certainly not a yes. And she's married now. She recently got married, and she seems very happy, and congratulations to her. I hope she has exactly what she wants in life. So that was the first time that I experienced this sort of true love. And then there was the second time I thought I was experiencing true love, but it was false. It was false. A girl by the name of Lauren. I'm not going to get into too many of the details because that would make this into like a 90-minute video, and I don't want to do that. But essentially what happened was I thought that I was in love with this girl, very much in love with this girl, but although she tried to clue me in, and as well as some of my other friends tried to clue me in on the fact, I was just too clueless to pick up on it. The fact that she was, at least at the time, I don't know about now, I haven't talked to her in a very long time, but she was a pathological liar. Everything that I thought was her, that I fell in love with, that the person that I loved was a work of fiction created by her in order to make me fall in love with her, I guess, to be loved. And now whether I'm not saying that she's a bad person for that, because like I said, it's pathological. It's definitely a real, honest to God, psychological issue she has. And hopefully, I hope she's gotten help and done work for herself and for her family that she has now, that she can be a more honest and genuine person in life. But that's no concern of mine. Me and her, we're done, never to have another conversation or set eyes upon each other again, if it can be helped, because I don't know, whoever she is, I don't know who she is. I don't know that person. She wasn't the person that I lived with and was in a relationship with for almost a year. That person doesn't exist. That's not a real person, which is kind of shitty. It's kind of shitty, and that messed me up big time. That messed me up big time for many years, to the point where I completely gave up on the idea of love altogether. I was like, you know what, love is bullshit. It's not a real thing. It doesn't exist. It's a bunch of stupid hormones, or ideals or fantasies or things in storybooks. It's not a thing for real life. And that's the kind of attitude that I took, where didn't matter how you felt about the person. All that mattered was that the two of you were compatible, and you shared goals in life, and you could work together and be a good, healthy family unit, and not kill each other, and just be honest and truthful, and blah blah blah, and as they say, settling down. I was trying to settle down, and that didn't work out either, because that was a bunch of bullshit. So with this girl named Joelle, who I think is a wonderful, great person, and I love her. I love who she is, that she exists. But she would always tell me, "You're not really in love with me. You're not in love with me, and I'm not in love with you." And she was right. I will admit to that one. She was right. I was wrong. There, I said it. If she ever watches this, she may be pleased to hear me say that, or she may be pissed off that it took me so damn long. I'm not sure. But she's a wonderful, great person. I have nothing ill to say about her at all. But it just wasn't. It wasn't real. It was settling, and we both deserved better than that. And so then came this kind of idea that I had about, what about the fantasy? Because this was a thing that me and Joelle would talk about, because we'd have our fantasies about what would be, the ideal whatever person to be with, and which could we fulfill those fantasies with each other, yes or no, blah blah blah. But we examine that. And so and the thing is, with fantasies, it's all about these kind of idiotic desires. And when I say idiotic, I don't mean stupid, I mean of the id, base, desires, like what flavor ice cream is your favorite kind of shit. And then there's what's compatible, what's what is beneficial, what would be the ideal relationship to be in. And so about 6 months later, god damn these fucking lawn care people, about 6 months later, I ran into this girl, Jocelyn, and we started talking, hanging out, and going on a date or two. And she was the ideal fantasy, right? So she's this intelligent, athletic, beautiful black woman. She had a master's degree. She was working towards her doctorate. She came from wealth. She was a compulsive cleaner. She was a pot smoker. She liked to listen to Pink Floyd and the Grateful Dead and watch reality TV shows. And if I was going to just kind of, make up a shopping list for OkCupid, which is how I met her, she would have been it. She would have been like every check mark on the list. But there just wasn't any spark. There wasn't any connection. It wasn't reality. It was, I mean, yes, I thought she was cute. She thought I was cute. She didn't think, neither one of us thought the other one was too psychotic, but again, it was that whole kind of settling for an ideal. This is not such a bad way to settle, but it was settling. And because there wasn't that spark, that connection, there wasn't that love, and it was just an exercise, a futile exercise, really. I mean, yes, we learned that it takes more than being beautiful and intelligent and responsible and having jobs and all this stuff. While it's very helpful in being successful in life, it's not love, and it's not a good relationship material for someone who wants to be romantic, like me. I don't know. She never actually really gave me her side of the story. This is really just all me, on my side. But we stopped hanging out and talking to each other. I'm sure she met somebody she was more compatible with than myself. But yeah. Anyway. And then out of the blue, recently, I started hanging out with this girl like a month ago, and we haven't been dating. We've just been hanging out a lot, and not exclusively. We hang out with other people and stuff, and we're not like making out or anything. We're just hanging out. But goddamn, I don't feel connected to this woman. I don't know if I ever did feel connected to anybody. I think part of the thing was we said right from the beginning that we should be honest with each other. Like, that was like the first words, at least out of my mouth, and she agreed that was important, and it would be a refreshing change from, goddamn, these goddamn fucking leaf blowers. It'd be a refreshing change from what we had been experiencing, this kind of projecting ourselves as these beings, and we could just kind of just relax and be ourselves and just chill, which is what we've been doing. We've been chilling, we've been hanging out and flirting. Yeah, there's been some flirting happening, but it's just very light and playful, and but she says she's not in a position to be in a relationship because she's working on herself. And while I thought I was ready to be in a relationship, I'm reflecting on it today and doing this video, I don't think I'm exactly there yet either. I'm not 100%, but I do feel connected to this woman. I think she's wonderful. I think she's great. Is she my ideal fantasy? No. Do I think she's a perfect partner to project myself into success in life? Not necessarily. I just like her. That's all. I just like her, and I like hanging out with her, and I like talking to her, and I like spending time with her, and she makes me happy. That's it. That's all there is to it. I also sense from her, we talk a lot, and we have light conversations, we have deep conversations, and You know, I sense from her that, you know, she, like me, has had some issues with people in the past, not being honest, not being truthful, and so it's hard to open yourself up and to trust people and to believe people that you can be yourself, and be honest and open your heart up and all of that. I totally get it. I understand it. I'm there myself. I really am there myself. And perhaps, I don't know, perhaps that's this dog, perhaps that's the point. Perhaps that's why I feel this connection with her. I don't know. Is it true love? I don't know. I mean, I haven't even made out with her yet, so who knows? She could be a lousy kisser, and I could all the magic could melt away right away. But I have a feeling she's not. She looks like she'd be a good kisser. But anyway, I know I'm a great kisser. I'm the best. I have no worries about that on my end. But you know, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's a real connection. Maybe we're just there to help each other heal with our pasts. Maybe we're crossing paths in life in order to give ourselves the boost we need to slingshot ourselves into whatever it is that we are hoping for in life. You know, maybe we're just meant to be friends. Maybe we're just, you know, maybe we're meant for great things. Maybe we're the ones, I don't know. And you know, it's not important. It's because, like I said, enjoy hanging out, spending time together. That's really all that matters right now, because that's really all we have. So as long as that's working, well, I guess we're not going that way either. It's very, very busy. I can't go anywhere in this neighborhood today. I keep getting turned around. But anyway, that's all that's really important, is that we can spend time together, enjoy each other's company, and not expect too much from each other. I think that's really kind of gonna be the key here, is acceptance. You know, to accept each other for being what we are, and to love that we are who we are. Which, hey, what a great way to wrap it up, Pride Week. So be proud, be glad of who you are, and be proud of who others are too. Feel that pride for them so that they can feel it in themselves. And that's my spiel on love. It's Ken signing off.